Mike, you used a term with me a couple minutes ago, NIMBY. What does NIMBY mean?
NIMBY means not in my backyard, and I think that's a lot of the sentiment that's happening right now with Michael Vick. I think this sort of larger issue, people being offended by the whole dogfighting issue, I think that's going to fade with time and has already begun to. But I do think there are a lot of people who while they may not be opposed in theory to having Michael Vick around, don't want him in their backyard.
You know, it's interesting. When they first made this signing, I was excited because it added another weapon to the team. I thought this great athlete they had.
Sure.
I was on the beach last week for my vacation and wearing a sleeveless shirt with an Eagles emblem on it.
It's a beautiful image.
Well, let me get out the guns.
All right.
Anyhow, and this guy runs by me and points at the shirt and goes, "Michael Vick." It gives me a thumbs up. And I was like, I was now being associated because of the shirt and my team with Michael Vick. And I had this epiphany, this moment where I realized I didn't want to be associated with him. This has nothing to do with the dog fighting. He paid his price for that. It was a horrible thing to do. This guy I didn't like the guy before that, and I don't like him now. He's a thug. He had given the finger to a bunch of kids. There was marijuana arrest. The guy's just not he can go work somewhere else. He doesn't have to work for my team. And it didn't come until somebody associated me and my team with Michael Vick that I came to that conclusion. How bad do I want to win as my team to win that I have to have him on it?
And it's not just whether or not he's a bad guy, because the reality is if you want to win the Super Bowl in the NFL with 53 players on your roster plus the practice squad and all, you're going to have to associate with some unsavory people. But this is a guy who, by his own admission in this 60 Minutes interview, was the last guy to get to practice and the first guy to leave, which he's your quarterback, he's your starting quarterback, and he doesn't have good practice habits. So I mean, I think there's all kind of issues that Michael Vick brings, and one of those is, how are they going to use him? How are they going to use him as a practical football matter?
It's a great point. They got this guy, and I thought he was going to be this great athlete. They'll run him around. Maybe they don't want to admit to it yet, but they're going to use him at receiver and running back. Yet they give him a quarterback's number. The NFL has different numbers. He's wearing number 7. It's the highest selling jersey right now, so the NFL is making money on this guy. But they have different numbers that are designated for different positions, and 7 is a quarterback's number. And yet, if he's listed on their depth charts during games as the number 2 or 3 quarterback, that's going to force Kevin Kolb and A.J. Feely, who's a darn good third-string quarterback.
Yeah, the NFL has rules about who you designate number 1, number 2, number 3, and how they can be used as quarterback. Could be a real problem for the Eagles.
I don't know if they thought that through before, or
I'm sure they did. But
they're trying to get an exemption, I've read, so that number 7 can be used for another position out there on the field. And the NFL should let him have it, seeing how they're marketing the jersey. It's the day he signed, they started marketing it, so they ought to have a little bit of leeway with that.
And they tend to be a little over-officious about those kind of things, a little anal about that, the NFL. But it could be a problem, and it'll be interesting to see. Now, on Thursday, we're talking on Tuesday. Thursday, he's going to play in an exhibition game. It'll be interesting to see how they use him.